Hi guys, it's Orb505 here, otherwise known as Mark Brad. Welcome back to the channel. We've got a slightly different video for you today. It's not going to be a let's play as such, because I don't envisage it being any more than this one video, unless of course anybody asks it to be. It's just really to show you what we used to play many wonderful years ago. This is a game called Sea Rogue, and this was a game that was out, I think it might have been late 80s, early 90s. I want to say 1986, but I'm not entirely sure whether that's correct. It's by a company called Microplay. We've got the PDF version of the manual here, which we are going to need. I've not gone all the way through this, so I think we're going to be flipping backwards and forwards to have a look at this, and you do need it in some parts of the game as well, not just for the controls or anything, or learn out what to do. You do need it in the game itself, so we'll come back to that later. We're using Defend to play the game because it's an old DOS game, so if we just double click on that, and if we Alt and Tab, that should get us full size. I'm hoping you guys can still see that. So here we go, Sea Rogue. I've turned the audio down a little bit. Excuse me while I just open the can, because it's rather warm in here, and it's nothing alcoholic, you'll be pleased to know. I'm not pleased to know. You might be thinking I'm a bit of a wimp, but alcohol doesn't agree with me. It used to, but it doesn't now. But anyway, enough of me. Let's get back to the game. If you've never heard of Sea Rogue before, it is basically sort of like a shipwreck hunter. We're the owner of a salvage company, and we're going to go out and earn money by searching for old wrecks and salvaging what we can in the form of either gold, silver, crockery, whatever it was carrying at the time. So that's the premise of the game. We're going to just start a new game. Unfortunately, the music is rather tinny and annoying, but I didn't want to just... You didn't have the option just to turn the music off. It was all or nothing, so we turned the volume down so it just wasn't competing with us a little bit. But you can see we've got the blurb on the screen of how this is all starting off and what the game's about. I'll just let you read that for a little bit. Okay, so we've got our first clue. Let's just write that down on my pad here. It's back to the days when games needed manuals and needed notepaper, and to be honest, I like those kind of games. So we're going to be... We'll start with a novice, because I'm not entirely sure what we're doing. I've played the game a little bit, but just to get my bearings on it, if you pardon the pun, the nautical pun. So what we've got here is, this is the ship's bridge, and we can go to kind of the captain's quarters, if you like, which is this arrow. Combat, which also is the diving team when we find a wreck, and we can come over to sonar and radar, navigation, that's communication, and for some reason it has all things like identify wreck and evaluate treasure as well. And then we've got like engineering, damage, and we've got treasure separator as well here, I'm not entirely sure why. And then we're back to the bridge, and then we've got kind of this global map that we can see here. All these dots are ports of call where we can go to. and you might just be able to make out here, this is our ship, and I think that is in Norfolk. You'll probably see it just happened then, the mouse just stutter slightly. It just seems to be when the music loops round it stutters. We've got some more ports up here which we can get to eventually. At the moment we'll be lucky if we'll probably make it out here to Bermuda on the amount of fuel that we've got. But we wouldn't be able to make it back, so unless Bermuda has got a refueling facility, we could get there, but we could never get back. That's worth noting. But we've got our coordinates of our first clue, so let's go to our navigation and we can plot a course. And with the right, let's get this right, with the left click we can set the coordinates, so you can see if I left click we could get the coordinates up here, and then if I right clicked it would take us to that destination. So we wanted west 8026 by north 2856, so it's not that far off from where we were there. So this is the annoying part, just trying to clue these in, going the wrong way. 56 we wanted, wasn't it? Right, that's it for that way, and no, wrong way. That's the one, so that's our destination. Right click and you can see it plots the course and then takes us there. So communications officer reports incoming message from the local Coast Guard. Weather in your area is reported to be cloudy. Well, I think we can deal with cloudy. Our fuel's gone down from 300 to 242 to represent what we've just travelled. So we've reached our destination. Now we can go to our sonar and we can do a search mode. So this is a map of the actual coordinates that we're in, and that's us, that red dot here. Now we can do a manual search which will involve us increasing our speed with the lever here and our course and going from bit to bit, but I find that if you just do an auto search and it'll go along searching for bits and bobs. There you go, and we've found something. So what we're going to do is if we just increase our speed and go up one, there you go, we're now on top of that wreck, and we'll drop a buoy there so we'll remember where it is, and let's continue with our auto search, because sometimes, yeah, that's the one we found before, sometimes we can find more than one wreck in an area. There we go, we found another one. So let's just go forward to there and drop another buoy and continue with our auto search. Oh, there's another one. So over there, drop another buoy so we remember where that is, and carry on. I'm assuming all these colours, we've got another one, that it's coming up with a different search methods, different radars and sonars. That's why we're coming up with different wrecks for different bits. So we're going to drop another buoy there, or buoy, depending on which part of the world you're from. If you're from the proper part of the world, you'll say buoy. So continue with our auto search, and we're back to the first one that we found. So yeah, let's carry on with that one. So we'll go over it and we'll stop our engines and we'll go to the combat screen and we'll start a diving team. So first of all, we've got to select our diving team. This is all the team that's on the crew that's on our boat. Now you can configure this from the start. Before we started off, you can give them your own dexterity and endurance, diving I think that is, and combat, but we didn't bother with that. So what we're going to do is endurance is, which is this one here, is one of the most important ones when you're diving, because the more endurance you've got, the longer you can stay out. So we're going to choose everybody with the enter key. You see it puts a little star next to him. We'll choose all the highest ones, and we can have 4 people on our team, so that gives us that. So we'll exit there and save that diving team, and then we can go dive to the wreck. So here we are diving. Now, from what I've gathered on here, is this is the area that we're diving in, and this is our current square, and you can see we've got little squares on here. So each one of these little squares, like here, this isometric square is a square on here, so he is in this square at the moment. And you've got to use your mouse a little bit. It's not just a case of just going along and randomly clicking in places. If we bring up our map, you can see that's what we can see on the surface of the seabed at the moment, and we've got a little key down here. So we've got cannon, so here, so it's obviously an old wreck, because you can have modern wrecks in this as well, you know, steel hull and iron hull ships, but obviously with this being a cannon, it must be a wooden hull wreck, or I suppose it could be an ironclad, but ironclads again were wood with just iron over the top of them. So we've got the cannon here, and we've got some planks around the side, and basically if you look around, you can work out the basic shape of the ship. So the planks would have been around the side of the ship. Any treasure would have been at the rear of the ship, at the stern of the ship, in the captain or officer's quarters. So here we've got chests around here. So there seems to be more collected around here. So we could either have this as the stern, and this being the front and back, or this could have been in this kind of direction. Here's the sides. Although the cannons would more likely to be on the side as well, but this, so it could be down there. So you can see we can kind of make our minds up which way it's going, trying to focus our search on the proper area. So we'll get rid of that for the time being. Now, one thing I didn't do is give any. I should have done when I was equipping my my diving team. They've all got knives. But I could have given my team spear guns and metal detectors and things like that, which I should have done, to be perfectly honest. And I think I will. We'll recall the divers. We've come back with nothing, but I think it'd probably be better if we do it this way. So if we go back to the diving team and we go to equip diving team, so we will. We will give him a spear gun, and for the time being we'll give everybody else detectors. Oh, he's got a knife. In fact, no, I'll give her a sandsucker. So we'll exit and save that diving team, exit again. So now we'll dive again. This is what you'll be presented with once you've been down to the wreck for the first time. You can either do a blast recovery, vacuum recovery, or archaeological, which is manual. You'll have to go down and do everything like we was just doing before. So we'll go back to archaeological. We can examine the ship's bell, but we'll do that in a minute, because I'm conscious that we're skipping little bits here and there. So we'll dive to the wreck again, and you can see now we've got metal detectors and sand suckers and things like that. So what we can do is we can, on this little dig icon, we can dig out the tile that we're on, and when it goes blue, that's as far as down as we can dig. So we move to the next one. So if we move down and we get to this chest, we can pick that chest up, and then we can carry on digging down and see if there's anything else under there, like that. And you can see for every click we lose some of our remaining oxygen for that guy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get our detector guy, and you can see now we've got something, and I'm not sure what the I, S, B, G and S is. I'm sure if we read the instructions it'll tell us, but that's some kind of different methods, different bandwidths if you like, what we're searching on. So we've found something here, so what we'll do for the time being is we'll just put a flag down to mark that, and we'll just go along and we'll see. There we go, we found something else, so we'll put another flag down. Okay, we're not getting anything out there, so we'll come back and we'll try down here. Okay, we've got something there, so we'll put another flag. We'll pick up that treasure. Nothing there. Okay. Oh, something there. Now these somethings could be anything from treasure to just junk. Oh, big something there, so we'll put another flag down. Little something there, but what I'll do is I'll just clear it away and see if we can find. Oh, send it to a bigger something, and it's just junk. So we're just going to go across the whole seabed and just see what we can detect and mark it out, so when we come down on our next dive, there's still something there, so we'll mark it. Down to 24 minutes there on this guy. Now when we come across something like this, like the cannon, that's obviously too heavy for us to pick up, but we can tell the ship to take it up, and there's still something there, so we'll put. And there's something there. Let's clear this one away. Ah, now that noise is telling us that we're down to our last 10 minutes, so we're just gonna recall that one diver, so we'll get back to our other diver. Now this guy's got a spear gun, so we're just going to use him just to clear some of these, because he's not got a detector, so we'll just use him just to clear some of these parts. So we've got another cannon. Our cargo bay is full. We can upgrade our ship as we go along, so but for the time being we can't do anything else. Yeah, chests full of silver. Gotta drop something, so we'll drop the silver. Or did I just... I think I might just have pressed the wrong button then. I think I just dropped something by... Oh. Now, those sharks, we can, if we use this knife option, start fighting them off. But it should, I think, from what the instructions said, do that automatically. Nothing more there. Oh. Now he's had enough, so we'll recall him. And let's go up. Oh, big something there. So you can see we're making up some kind of pattern. Now that's obviously that cannon, so we won't bother marking that. Mark that. Yeah, we're making a pattern of where the ship is with what we're finding. There's the cannon. There's another cannon. Let's just... No, we can't. It's full. here. Let's just dig that one up. Ballast stones. Oh, chest. Get that. I'll just get that. Nothing else there, so I won't bother digging. I'm gone. We'll pick that up and we'll get him out of there. So, here's our guy with the sand sock who should be able to move sand around a lot more efficiently. So, nothing down there. Let's see if there's anything further now. I'd hate to think that I wasn't. See, like that one, more than one there. Nothing on that one though. There's one over this way, so let's try there. Just twisted metal. A few more down here. Convenient of them to put all this gold in chests for us. So we'll recall that diver and we're back to the surface we go. Reports has been sunny, wonderful. So now what we should be able to do, and one thing I didn't do before actually, if we come to the sonar room like that, we can do a sideways scan and you can see the ship down there, type old wreck. So that's from what I can gather a wooden one. Like Telltale says, I've not been able to decipher anything else on there. We've got a hazard factor which might apply something, but other than that, it just tells me it's an old wreck from what I can gather. Active sonar doesn't seem to do anything, neither does passive sonar. I think they must come in further on in the game. So if we come over to here and treasure separator, now we've got no treasure to separate. That's only if we find encrusted treasure, so treasure which has got barnacles and other sea life hanging off it. So let's come over to here, and if we go to cargo manifest, so we've got 12 chests of silver, 3 chests of gold. Exit from that, appraise the treasure. Oh no, it's not doing us anything on that at the moment. That's just telling us everything we've already got. So we come back to here. No, this one. Right. No, I'll tell you what I wanted to come back to here. Now, if we choose dive wreck again, we can choose ship's bell. Even though we didn't find a ship's bell, it kind of just suddenly appears. So every ship's equipped with a ship's bell. It indicates not only the name of the ship, but also the year it was commissioned. The encrusted remains of the ship bell reveals the cryptic letters. So what you see, we've got these letters, it's a bit like a game of hangman. Now this is where the actual instructions are going to come in. So if we alt tab, so we can shrink that and we can come back to our instructions. If we come back here, in the instructions there is a complete list of the ships in the game. Now this isn't cheating, this is what you actually used. Now we're off the coast of Florida, so if we come down, you see it's one of these games which I used to love, where you see massive manual. I think it's 160 odd, oh yeah, 164 pages in this. Fantastic things. When you used to get a meaty manual in a book form rather than just a PDF, but gone are those days. So if we come down, we can see if we. So here's Florida, and we're looking to see if we can find a ship with this many letters, where the fourth letter is P and the sixth letter is O. It's not going to be any of these. No. No, that's not the fourth letter. Aha. Is it the Hampton Court? That's the fourth letter. Fifth letter, sixth letter. Space. Yeah, I think it could be the Hampton Court. What was it carrying? About 4 million pesos in treasure of silver pieces. I think that's supposed to be pieces. Gold and jewellery. Well, we have found a lot of silver and we've found some gold. So I think that might be what it is, the Hampton Court. So we should, if we bring that back to full screen, let's cancel that. Let's go, let's take a punt on that, and we'll identify the wreck. We'll manually identify it, and we'll say it's the Hampton Court. Congratulations, yes. They're not all that easy to do, by the way. That was a particularly easy one. So, because we've identified that correctly, any treasure that we pick up from here is going to be worth top dollar, as it says there. If we'd have incorrectly done it, it would have been worth half of the amount that it should have been, and the Shipwreck Society, or whatever they're called, would be very displeased with us, and our notoriety would have gone down. Excuse me while I take another drink. So we've done that well, and there you go. It gives us a little bit of information. It's all the same information that was in the instructions. So pearls, chests of jewellery and Chinese porcelain, we've not found any of that yet. So what we can do, if we come back here, we can choose the diving team again, and we can equip diving team, and this time I think I'm going to give them all sandsuckers. Apart from one guy, I'll leave with that spear gun. And we'll dive the wreck again. We'll just give it one more go. So if we come down to the seabed, and I'm conscious we haven't examined all these tiles, but I don't want it to drag on. You get the idea. Nothing else there. I'm hoping that this, an encrusted item, so that's what we'd need to use the treasure separator for. There's some plates. I think it did say there was some plates on there. Shark. Some more treasure. That'll be coins, I'm assuming. And some more. I thought he was in trouble then. So let's cannon. Can we pick that up? I think. Yeah, it's been hoisted on board. Another one. Oh. that it? Is that all we're going to be able to take now? Twisted metal. Okay, we'll call it a day. Let's get everybody up, because I think that's all we're going to be able to take. So we come back to here, and we've got our treasure separator, and you can see now that's going to get that encrusted treasure. Oh, a gem. Nice. So if we come back to here and praise the treasure, jewellery. Oh, nice. So if we go back to our cargo manifest, our current cargo, so we've got 16 chests of silver, 3 chests of gold and 1 jewellery. It's not a bad haul. I think that's all we're going to be able to take up. I'm not entirely sure what happens with those cannons, because it said it was taking it on board, but when we go to the cargo manifest, and there's none there. So not figured that bit out yet, but nevertheless that's all we can carry by the looks of things. We can always come back to this area, and obviously we've got all those other chests that we can, those other wrecks that we identified on our screen here. We've dropped those buoys for, so we can always come back and have a look at them, but for the time being what we want to do is go to our map screen and plot a course. Now I want to go back to Norfolk where we came, so if we right click there, and that takes us back up, and if we now go to this view, we should be able to make it to port. You can see our little boat moving. There we go. One of these games where you've got to be pinpoint on the pixels. It is a great game. If somebody wanted to grab hold of this and pull it up to today's standards with the graphics and the interface, some of the interface is a little bit disjointed. Like I say, you go to the repair screen and the treasure separators there, and I think it was on the communication screen that you identify the wreck. So they kind of brought it together a little bit more, but it is quite an entertaining game. So we're in the port of Virginia, I think Norfolk, and we've got all these options. Not all ports have all these options, but we've got the Bank of Virginia, we've got Nautical Neds, which is, if memory serves, somewhere where you can buy supplies and things like that, and we've got the Maritime Museum and research centres where we can hire researchers to have a look through the archives and give us new coordinates of old shipwrecks, Old Salt Association, and we've got bars and things like that as well, where we can go and buy drinks and listen into conversations, see if we can pick up any news of possible other wrecks in the area. So we want to basically offload all this gear. So let's go to the museum, because that's where we can sell it. So we want to sell our items, so we'll sell all the jewellery. There we go, wonderful. So we've got 23 million. So we'll leave that, and we'll go to the Bank of Virginia and we'll make a deposit. To keep all that safe. Let's go to the League of the Four Cornered Compass. Oh, this is where we can train our members. So let's have a look. We've got diving skills, underwater combat, wreck research, cartography, which is reading maps, and treasure maps as well. So we've got 10 points, which we can improve stuff. I'm not entirely sure who we're improving or whether it's a whole. So we'll put 5 points in there. It looks like we can only put 5 points at a time by the looks of it. So we'll put diving skill. Right, I think that's it. I think that's all we can do. Like I say, the basics of a good game is here. It's just limited to the graphics at the time and the kind of things you could do on the screen, but I think if somebody picked this up and tried to remake it, they'd make a really good game. So here's another training centre. So can we train anybody here? So yeah, we'll train on diving. No. Yes. And rec research. Seems to be all we can do. Hammer and Wrench Association, to train. So we'll train them. Damage control and things like that. These must be different ones for different members of your crew, so obviously Hammer and Wrench is for whoever you've employed to be your engineer, I'm assuming. Sharpshooters Guild should be for, I don't know, I'm assuming Captain, maybe? No, you'd think that would be Captain, really, wouldn't you? Okay, that seems to be all that. Okay, so we've not got any damage from what I remember, so we'll not bother going to there. How about a buy a drink? Okay, so we've got to buy a drink. Let's talk with the barkeeper. I won't have any trouble in my bar. I wasn't causing any trouble. Baldy. Let's talk to someone. Here's some kind of wreck hunter. No, we are a wreck hunter. We're not some kind of wreck hunter. We are a wreck hunter. I found a wreck once. Don't know what ship it was. I'd be glad to sell you the map. 300,000. Well, we've got plenty. Yeah, go on, we'll buy that. Listen to any conversation. Storms blowing. Yeah, he seems to be very interested in that researcher. Oh, pretzels. Okay, let's leave that. So let's go to Nautical Neds, and this is where we can upgrade our ship. So we want some fuel. So 1,000,000 credits for some fuel. We're going to have some of that. I don't know how much that's actually. It's bought as 1. What does that mean? I haven't got a clue. So we'll leave it with that. I'm not entirely sure what any of these are. ESM. I think that is to intercept radar. So yeah, go on, we'll have one of them. It was only cheap anyway. Fuel efficiency device, 10 million. We'll leave that for now. Hunting, wreck hunting, yeah. Magnometer. I'm assuming that's what we would use to check for iron, steel-based ships. 3 million. Yeah, go on, we'll have one of them. It's good to invest in things like this. Probe. Yeah, go on, we'll have one of them. Hull cutter, go on, that sounds like something we'd need. Enhanced side scan, yeah, go on. We've got plenty, we've got 9, well, we had my 90 million, I've got 86 million, but that's lots and lots of stuff. Buy a new research vessel. That's a bit too much for what we have at the time being, so we won't. Actually, let's just go back to Nautical Neds, and I think we will have that. It's only 10 million. Ah, it's only 10 million. Plenty where that came from. So, anything else that we could go? I think that's about it. So we'll leave port now. So what we're going to do? Well, we're the only thing that we could, well, there's several things we could do, really, isn't there? We could try and read that map. I did see something on here which was going on about reading maps. Treasure maps, there we go, so we've got a treasure map. Hey! Right, so I'm assuming that's where it is. So that's 95, got a trusty pad out again, 95 west by 51, north 18 by 42. So let's have a look there, see what our newly acquired map's given us, or whether it's just a donkey. And if we do, we're going to go back and rip his head off. So that was around about there. Let's see if we can get that in. 98, so over in this direction. 95, 51, so about there. You know, if you could zoom in. There we go, 51, and it was 15, so that's down into, yeah. That's going to be really, that's going to be like in the middle of the, in land, that can't be right. That's 42. That's 41. Oh no. That's about as close as I can get it, and I don't. Yeah. Don't get that. I do not get that at all. Let's just go back to our first one. I think somebody sold us a donkey there. Or at least that's what I'm going to put it down to. I'm not going to put it down to my ineptitude, of course. So let's go back to the place where we had before. It would be really helpful if that remembered where it was instead of me having to aimlessly click all the time. 2856. A bit more. Oh, as soon as you go up a bit more, it does it the other way. Can you do that with it? No. It's the frustrating bit of it, but hey, if you don't have frustrating bits in games, then how do you know whether you're winning? 26, that's the one. I want 56 on the other. No, up. Oh, now I've gone the other way again. Oh dear. Right, 56. No. No. Oh. That's it. Go, go, go. No, no, no. That's where it was before. It can't be invalid. I wonder if it's because it's going over. I wonder if we've got to come this way first a bit. Go that bit. Up. And then go down because it was going over land. Maybe. Yeah, it seems to like that one, because the line must have been going over land. Okay, so we're back to here. Let's go to search mode again. Now, we don't have to search this time, so if we right, so we're going to travel, slow down a bit so we only go one square at a time now. Yep. And up. And there's the other one. So, drop anchor. Not that you can drop anchor, I don't think. But we'll pretend to drop anchor, and we'll come here, and we'll go to our... There we go. An old wreck. Right, I'm going to go and see about the other ones. And see if there's anything other than an old wreck. Because I think the other one's a modern wreck, which is iron ships, because I've never seen one of them before. So, go back to search mode, and let's come down to this one. Oh, that's giving us some kind of signal over there. I wonder if this is what that, like the manual looks like. I'm guessing that's just because we found it and we was getting closer. Yeah, I'm going to read it as that. So over to there and do a side scan. Another old wreck. Okay, let's see what the next one is. In fact, now we've got that new magna scope thing, let's just do another auto search. Let's see if we find anything. It's doing different pretty patterns. Nice. Why do you keep starting at the same place again? Yeah, I know we found it. That's a bit frustrating, isn't it? It's just keep finding the same ones over and over again. We know there. I wonder if I drop another buoy on them, that'll kind of ignore it. Yeah, it seems to. We'll take that as a win. No, because you find that one again. I've already dropped a buoy there. Okay, right, we're going to do the manual search, I think. Yeah, well, we found you. We know where you are. Anything down here that we didn't have before? Kind of prefer the manual way of searching, at least. It gives a little something to the game. I suppose if we find out what those bars mean as well, that'll probably, I know I'm missing bits out here, but yeah, that's the one we've already done, haven't we? So let's go over here to this one. Slow down so we only go one square at a time. Right, so we've got one there. I don't think we've searched this one yet, have we? So let's go to our sonar, side scan. And it's another type of old wreck, hazard factor 2. So I'm not sure whether hazard goes up in like 1 is not hazardous and 10 is really hazardous, so right, okay, well let's go with this. So we will go there, select our diving team and equip them, and we'll go over detectors again. No, we don't want to travel, we want detector. So I'll exit that, save the team, and let's just dive. Dive. So let's have a look at our map. Right, okay, we're getting this is a pretty clear picture here. You can see here's all the planks, so that the ship must be lying in that kind of general area, so we know to concentrate our search around about there. So let's get our detectors on. Fight. Oh, fight. Oh. The shark's been driven away. Yeah! Hurrah! Huzzah! So, can we winch that aboard? It's been hoisted aboard. We don't know what they do with it when they hoist it aboard, but aboard it has been hoisted. Oh. Fight. I don't know anything there. Okay, we've got something there. Is that silver? Is that? I'm guessing that means silver and that means gold. Is that bronze? Iron? Something else. So I'm guessing that's gold. I'm guessing that's going over us. So again, I'm guessing that's gold. Iron and something else. I want to see what that something else is. I think that shark's just given up on us now, so iron. A cannon. Cargo bay is full. Full of what? That's the end of the map, so something there? No. Fight. No, we're not having any effect with that shark now, so I'm assuming that it's just there for the eye candy. Okay, so we're going to recall him. Let's have a look. He's got our... We'll go to him. Something iron. And it's junk. There's the plank, so let's get back this way. Right, I'm going to take it that there's gold here. Pick that up, nothing else, let's carry on. That's the wooden beam, so that's the end of the ship, I'm guessing. Iron. Junk. Iron and something else, so is this going to be more junk? Twisted metal. Right, he's out of air. Well, nearly out of air. If he's out of air, he'd be dead. So let's get that out of the way. And our engineer, so let's carry on. Not been doing this particularly methodical, so let's just start down here. Don't know where I've done and where I've not now. I'm guessing that is just going to be junk, so back this way. anything. I don't think there's going to be anything down. Oh, iron. Come on, I'm a sucker. I think it's going to be junk here. Yeah, he's out, so let's get back up. Now this fella's not got anything, so we're just going to have to just randomly keep moving stuff. It's the silt off the sea floor, and he's out as well now. He's really out. 7 minutes left. So let's see. Now we was guessing on that G being gold, wasn't it? So if we go, that's not what we wanted. I was going to do that just for the hell of it, though. We've already done that one once, haven't we? Right. So evaluate treasure. So the coins, Spanish coins, gold. Right, from 1715, minted in Cartagena. Spanish isn't what it used to be. So 4 coded messages. What's all that about? Let's have a look in the middle. Cannon. Ah, we've got a cannon. Hey. Didn't do anything with it, but we've got a cannon. I think that's just telling us that we haven't got any cannon. Right, okay, we'll exit that. We've got 4 coded messages. Auto decode. No? Manual decode? Your attempt to decoding the messages failed. Well, auto didn't do it. I'm guessing that this is something like other wreck hunters in the area trying to well, where's the message going to come out? Come, give us a clue. Okay, let's try manual. Failed. Perhaps we should have a auto decoder. We're not very good at decoding messages, that's for sure. And we've failed again. So we've failed on all levels. The one thing that we're good at is failing. So anyway, let us carry on with our wreck. So diving team. Yeah, we've already done that, so we'll exit there. Dive the wreck again. It asks us this one. We're going to go for archaeological again, just so we can examine the ship's bell. Right. Let's come out of here again. We're still off the coast of Florida. I think, no. So the third letter is going to be C. So let's come back to Florida. Now these are all far too big names, so it's not going to be any of them. Right, no, it's not going to be any of them. Not going to be any of them. Aha! It's that one. It's got to be. It's got some bronze cannons on there. It's got pesos in gold, silver bars which we haven't found any, and silver artifacts. But we have found gold coins. And as that's the only thing we found, I think it's a good assumption that that's going to be the thing that's got the most of if we found most. Just them at the moment. So I'm going to put a bet on it being that. So we'll cancel that, we'll come back. I think it's to that one. Identify, well, a manual identify, and I think it's very panicky about case type, so we're going to have to make sure we get it. Yes! So So we've identified the wreck. And that was basically everything that told us in the instructions as well. So that is basically the game. You can see it's just going to be one wash, rinse, repeat of everything we've done here, and keep going backwards and forwards to the wreck and collecting more treasure, which we can then bring up and go back and sell. I'm not entirely sure what to do with those cannons and why they don't seem to come up to the ship, but all the instructions are in there, so it's a case of if you do find time to read them all, I'm sure you can figure it out yourself. I think it really is a good game once you get into it. It's old. The graphics aren't that bad. I think Dwarf Fortress is a good example of how you don't necessarily need good graphics to make a good game. It's all about gameplay and things like that. And I think obviously this is no Dwarf Fortress, but I think this is another example of, even though the game is that old and the graphics are now showing, I think it still shows that there is a good concept of a game in there. It just needs somebody picking it up and giving us 3D and improving the graphics and the user interface and making it flow a little bit better. But yeah, not a bad game, not a bad little game at all, I don't think. You have got the combat aspect as well, which we never showed you before, which is just seems to be a case of just shooting in one direction. You can't move this at all. I'm not entirely sure what that's all about, but that's about as far as it goes, as far as I can see on the combat side. I do know that you can shoot other treasure hunters, which I don't think is probably going to be very ethical, but yes, you can do it anyway. That just takes you around the ship, so why not give the game a go, see how far you can get on it. Thanks for joining us. This is Old505, aka Mark Brad. Give us a like, give us a sub, give us a comment, and we'll see you in the next episode. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.